Kong is king. Yo, what is going on, guys? Matthew V. Haynes here, aka the Clockmaster. Right now I'm going to be reviewing for you Kong Skull Island. So guys, my overall feeling about this movie is, man, this movie was great. This movie was good, guys. I have not too much really bad things to say, guys. I really enjoyed this movie. I went with my sister, and I think it'll be a lot more enjoyable if you go with like a friend or one of your family members or something like that and go and watch it as a group or something like that. It will be a lot more fun, funnier, and it'll just be an overall great experience, guys. This movie was just a really good experience. We saw it in IMAX, and we just kicked back, eating popcorn, just watching the movie. It was fun. It was energetic. It had a lot of action, loads of action. We'll get more deeper into that, guys. And it was a good dialogue, you know, but mostly I was there for the monsters. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But guys, this movie was great. Honestly, I have little to anything really negative to say about the film. It's just really good. Brief synopsis. Searching for the unknown, a group of scientists bring together a team of engineers, soldiers, an ex-British Special Forces agent, and a photojournalist to travel to the mysterious Skull Island. Little did they know what was in store for them. Also, guys, quick shout out to Brian Peters, one of my subscribers here. He actually brought it to my attention that they released this movie around the same time. It's the anniversary for the first King Kong movie ever. So shout out to Brian Peters, man, for letting me know about that, man. So it's a really special moment for them, and there's this whole entire story of King Kong and everything that Godzilla and all. It's a very special time. All right, guys, before I get into my positive and negatives, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I do a lot of movie reviews, trailer reactions, trailer reviews, movie updates, and everything like that. So if you're interested, please do not forget to subscribe. Alrighty, let's get on with the review. So the movie stars Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston, John C. Reilly, John Goodman, Corey Hawkins, and my girl Jiang Qiang. That's my girl from The Great Wall. So I love her, man. She's such a great actress. So anyway, so some of my positives about this movie, guys, is that I love, and you guys know I'm a sucker for a lot of the technical stuff, but I'm gonna talk about the technical stuff first and get more into the fun stuff later. The camera angles, guys. From the beginning of the movie, there's a very, you know, a homage type of thing that they do with the camera angles. They do like these cool zoom in shots and stuff like that. Very, very reminiscent of the older style films, and it's really cool. I really did enjoy that they did that. I love a lot of the camera angles in this movie, and a lot, especially some of the scenes where, and like I said, I love close-ups, man. I love close-up shots, and we'll dive in more with the CGI on Kong, but camera angles were fantastic. I loved every single one of them, especially with the action sequences that were in the movie. They were shot perfectly. Also, the music was good. You barely hear anyone talking about the music, but the music, Henry Jackman did the score for Kong Skull Island. If you guys are not familiar with Henry Jackman, you guys have heard his music everywhere. He has done X-Men First Class, he did Big Hero 6, he also did a lot of other bigger movies, man. He did tons of movies, lots of them. So good job on the music side of everything. That was really good. I really enjoyed the music, and it's typical Henry Jackman style, because I'm a little familiar with this style of music, but I still enjoyed it. It was really good. It really carried the story along. And this is also really like little thing that I really liked about it but I love the title transitions where they did a lot of these they were, you know, showing different locations. I just love the style of the text and the title, this old Vietnamese kind of Asian type of style of text. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. I thought it was really cool. Also, there was a lot of funny parts in this thing, man. I'm not gonna dive too much into it because I want you guys to enjoy this for yourself, but John C. Reilly did a great job. Samuel L., you know, doing a Samuel L. thing, just pretty much just being Samuel L. in every movie, did a great job, and it was very enjoyable, and like I said, it was funny. They had a lot of funny parts in this, especially from the cast. Now, the part you guys want to know, the CGI Kong. Love it. I don't know, you know, as far as what exactly the exact technical things they did behind the scenes. I didn't look at any behind the scenes footage of this stuff, but Kong looked amazing. Kong was fantastic on the screen. I just loved everything, all the fight scenes he was in, him just punching stuff and smacking things out, and just pure destruction was great. All the fights between the monsters, oh my gosh, the monsters were great. I love the monsters. They were all kinds of monsters, spider monsters, tree monsters. They just looked great, and the interaction between the CGI sort of say you know, characters like Kong and all the other monsters and the human cast, the real life cast, it was great. It was seamless. It was perfect to me. the money that was invested into this movie was well spent because the graphics were phenomenal. All the little strands on Kong's body, all the strands of hair were done perfectly. Even like close-up shots of Kong was done perfectly. I loved it so much. And speaking about close-up shots of Kong, there were a lot of, you can see what I love what they did with the design and whatever work they did on Kong and his design and his CGI was the range of emotions that you were able to see from this character without him, you know, obviously he's a monkey, he's an ape, a gorilla, he can't speak unless he's Caesar from Planet of the Apes, but he ain't Caesar, he's Kong. But what I love what they can do with the eyes and his eyebrows, these are range of emotion from being angry to being sympathetic and being concerned and being afraid. Just those different things, you can tell what kind of position this guy had, this monkey had, and you can kind of relate and either be angry with him, love him, agree with him, and I just love the different range of emotions that they were able to get out from him, which is really, really good. So Kong was fantastic, guys. I have no issue with the character itself. Seamless, man. I loved every minute he was on screen. But which brings me to my few negatives that I have. Little negatives, nothing too serious, but there's a few negatives. So here are my negatives when I talk about the lack of Kong on screen. While we had a powerhouse cast, the problem is too much. Too much humans involved. You see, when you go to see this kind of movie, and that was the problem they had with Godzilla, just too much. We wanted to see more of Godzilla. We want to see more of the monster. We want to see more of him fighting. While we have a lot of action scenes and a lot of fight scenes between the monsters in Kong, there was too much of the human. I mean, yes, you have to rely on the humans here to kind of carry on the story. And what I loved about it is that they were, you know, their roles here, they were able to give you certain information that we would otherwise not know. So if you use them in that way, it would be great. But the fact that they're focusing too much on them opposed to Kong was my concern, and it was a little bit there, but I overlooked it because the times that Kong and all the monsters were on screen, it overcompensated for that. It kind of took care of my issues with too much humans on screen. Which brings me to this. Anyone could have played those characters, man. Anyone could have played those characters. It wasn't anything too special about what these characters could have done or anything like that. Anyone could have played those characters. You just really needed people in there to just give us certain information that we would not know about Kong or anything else that happened on the island. And one big major negative that I have really with this thing was that there was a lot of cool action sequences that we seen in the trailers, and they would have been a lot more enjoyable if we had not seen them in the trailers. There are some things that they didn't show in the trailers. Don't get me wrong, the trailers don't reveal everything, but certain big, most important scenes in the movie that would have been more enjoyable had we not seen it in the trailers. And if you guys seen the trailer, I think you know what I'm talking about. It would have been a lot more enjoyable if you can just sit down in the theater and just see for the first time. But like I said, there were a lot more other parts that were really good and got you surprised and got you excited about it. And there was never a boring moment of this movie. This movie was not boring. It didn't have a boring part. It wasn't any long, slow dragging things. Everything, I think, except for, you know, the focus on too much of the human storyline. Other than that, it was a pretty good, evenly paced. Well, I wouldn't say evenly paced movie. The pacing was good. It was good. You know, it wasn't too, like I said, the lack of humans would have been okay. Too much focus on them, but I can go on and on about that. And there's a big debate about it, but it works. It works. So overall, guys, this movie, like I said, was very, very, very good. Great, guys. The fight scenes were executed very, very well. When they were done there were a lot of surprising moments that happened, even though you kind of knew they were going to happen. It still got you in the end. Like, there was certain parts, like certain jump scares and certain things that my sister and I was sitting down and we were getting afraid, or not really afraid, but surprised, even though we suspected it was happening. Like I said, I love Kong. I love how he looked. I love his roar. I love him just fighting and punching the mess out of things, just pure destruction. And the fight scenes where he was there was great, man. And one thing I gotta let you guys know, there is a post-credit scene, so stick around to the end. Look at it. I'm not gonna tell you what happens in the post-credit scene because this is a spoiler-free review. Stick around to the end. There is a post-credit scene. So all in all, guys, I'm gonna give this movie a B+. B+. It's not like Logan good, but it's good. It's great. It's not like fantastic, but it's definitely good, man. It's great. A B+, I think, is an appropriate score for me. Like I said, and I told you my reasons why. too much focus on the human storyline. Other than that, that's just a little nitpicky thing. But other than that, it was really good. If you like a good story, a good setup to what is to come, a lot of monster fights, a lot of action sequences that were great, and you just love a fun movie that'll definitely keep you excited, definitely go watch this with your friends, go watch it with your family, buy some popcorn, go to the theaters, and watch this movie. Alright guys, what are your thoughts on this movie so far? If you have seen it, let me know in the comment section down below. No spoiler comments, please. Thank you very much. I will do a spoiler review and then we can talk all about that in the comment section. So no spoilers if you have seen this movie in the comment section down below. Also, like I said, are you interested in watching this movie? Also, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget, if you are new, to subscribe, ring that notification bell on your way out, and thank you for taking the time out to watch this one. The Clockmaster, out.